Coming out of the field, the Volunteers of Tennessee in orange and white. The captains are meeting in the center of the field. The toss has been won by Auburn. Auburn wants the goal and the win. It's a great football afternoon. Tennessee and Auburn, Birmingham, Alabama. There's the whistle. Here comes Wilson. There's the kick. He hangs it high. So the far sideline, stand back. Fumbles the ball at the 5. Picks it up at the 5-yard line. Gets back up to the 6. And he's dropped at that point. With the wing tee right, the pitch goes to stand back, going wide. No, that's Rudder to the 5, up to the 7-yard line, and he's upended. Dave Beck was there to make the tackle on Rudder. Let's set the backfield as Rudder is opening at tailback. Chancey is in there at fullback. A gain of a yard, second down, 9, Tennessee. Longtown Holloway. Rudder up the middle to the 10, spinning off to the 11 and falling forward to about the 12-yard line. Luca and Newton team up on the tackle. Defensively for Auburn, the ends Eddie Welch and Danny Sansfree, both weighing in at about 220 pounds. Sibley and Lanier, the tackles, at 230. Third down and 4 yards to go for Tennessee. Holloway out of the power eye, keeping, cutting up to the 15, to 16, to 17, to the 18, to the 19, to the 20. Give him a first at the 20-yard line. Condredge Holloway, spinning out to the left, cuts ever so quickly and dances forward for a first and 10 at the 20. Burnish and Neal make the tackle. Is Howard. Here's the delay. Coming left with the ball is Chancey. Gets back to the line of scrimmage as the draw is plugged up effectively. Newton was the man who was there first for Auburn. Slotting Howard inside of Love to the left. Wide out to the right side goes Leach. In motion to the right side goes Howard. Here's the pitch out to Howard. Gets it at the 20, up to the 21, to the 22-yard line, and he is belted. Auburn played the motion perfectly. Ken Burnish went with Howard and was right there when the screen pass to him in the flat was complete. A gain of a yard, maybe a yard and a half. It'll be third down, a good 8 yards to go for Tennessee. Third down, a good 8 yards to go. Holloway with only chance behind him. Back to throw. Waiting. Looking. Get a run with the ball. Comes to the left side to the 20. To the 25. Comes outside to the 30. Up to the 29-yard line. It is just a bit short of a first down. Chip Howard gave him a block, but he was stopped short of a first by about a yard. So, it will be fourth down, and here comes Quavo into the lineup. Quavo coming in. Sandback was taken up and appears, we think, to be okay. Tennessee will be punting. The wind, a very brisk one. Let's see if Auburn puts the rush on. Deep back for Auburn. In safety position should be Simmons. It is Simmons, and Quavo will be punting. Auburn is held, apparently. Fourth down, about a yard to go for Tennessee. They've got the rush on, it appears to me. Snap to Quavo. The punt is away. He hangs a wobbly spiral. Asking for and making the fair catch is Simmons at the Auburn 35-yard line. Punt is good into the wind for 36 yards, no return. Auburn with good field position at the 35-yard line will have it first down and 10. Coming out this way is Fuller, who is starting instead of Gossett. Second man through, tailback Henley. Bang! No gain at the 35-yard line. The entire left side of the Tennessee line was there waiting for Henley. No gain on the play, maybe half a yard. Call it second down and a good 9 yards to go. Defensively for Tennessee, the ends Claude Simonson and Carl Johnson. The tackles are Pulliam and Wagster. Walls in the I formation with a deep tailback. He's 8 yards behind the center. Pitch comes to him coming wide. Simonson turns him in. Graham is there to make the tackle as he gets to the 38 or 9-yard line. Reynolds helping out. The play was turned by Simonson, who's starting at left end, and Graham, the corner, came up to cover, got help from Reynolds. Ball moves to the 38-yard line. It will be third down upcoming with 7 yards to go. Sliding inside him goes Fuller. Back to throw is Walls. Bang! He's thrown at the 30-yard line. Fumbles the football. Who's got it? Give it to the University of Tennessee at the Auburn 30. Was he blitzed? Tennessee read the play all the way and recovered the fumble.
John, that's as hard a lick as I've seen a quarterback take in a while. He got the linebacker came. Nobody had made a mistake in there. They didn't have anybody to pick him up. And, boy, he just hit him right in the side. In fact, I think he's taken up a little bit on the thing.
Tennessee at the 30-yard line, first down 10. Runner still the tailback. Tennessee shifts. Chancey becomes a flanker right from his fullback slot. Long count Holloway. Up the middle, Rudder. Rudder, 25, breaks the tackle, 23, spins at the 21-yard line where he's finally pinned. Mike Neal was there. So was Dave Beck, the defensive left halfback for the Auburn Tigers. Wait till he spots the ball. They put it down at the 21.5-yard line. Rudder up the middle. Good blocking on the right side from Emmendorfer and Tom Johnson. Opening, slotting that way goes Chancey. Splitting out left comes Love. Pitch goes to Rudder, trying to get to the corner. He's caught, breaks the tackle, takes inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. Good pursuit by that middle linebacker. We'll check his number. Beck is the man who makes the tackle, but that linebacker's got some speed. That's Ken Burney, 6'3", 244 sophomore from Gretna, Alabama, who almost caught Rudder from the rear. Rudder was able to get away from him, but in so doing, had to change the course of his dash and ran into the defender. It is first and 10 Tennessee at the Auburn 18-yard line. Holloway, make keep. He's going to 15. Bang, he is dead. Marker's thrown. Should have been a clip on the corner. Holloway got to the 14-yard line. There is a marker down. Sibley and Neal made the tackle. Tennessee was flipping on the corner, so here comes a 15-yard step off against the Volunteers, who had it first and 10 at the 18. Let's see where the penalty will be stepped off from. No, that's Trott in there now, wide to the right side. To the left side comes Love. Tennessee first down long. Long count by Holloway, looking over the defense. Dropping back to throw, being blitzed and thrown behind the line of scrimmage at the 37-yard line by linebacker Bill Luca. So Holloway, dropping back into the back of the throw, was caught from behind and thrown to the loss. Back up to the 37-yard line, where it will be second down and 29 yards to go. Second and 29 for Tennessee. No score in the first quarter. The ball's recovered an Auburn fumble at the 30. Moved to a first down at the 18, then a 15-yard penalty for clipping, then a loss as Holloway is back to throw. Loss is 7 on the play for the quarterback, the sophomore from Huntsville, Alabama. In motion right will be Bill Rudder. Holloway spinning out that way. Now looking back across the middle. Screen pass out here, taken by Trott. Trott down to the 35. Trott from behind and pounded to the ground at the 34 by Danny Sanspree, the end, who had initially been putting pressure on Holloway. Then on the little screen out to the left side to Trott. He recovered, pursued nicely, and made the tackle at the 34. Tennessee nothing, Auburn nothing, first quarter. Time 7:29 to go. Auburn with a 5-man front. Back to throw Holloway. Here comes the blitz. Gets out of the pocket for a moment. Then is caught and dropped to the 36-yard line. Eddie Welch, the left end, just one step before Holloway broke free, reached out a big arm and flipped him to the ground. So Tennessee far short of the first. Fine defensive effort by Auburn. And Tennessee's Quavo is coming into the game to punt. Quavo will punt. The wind still a brisk one in his face. Quavo's punt, angling toward the near sideline, is going to be out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Quavo down on the play and will be limping off the field. No marker. That's what you hear the booze for. Right now there's time out of the field with a score. Tennessee nothing, Auburn nothing. Auburn will have the ball after the very short punt out of bounds at the 20 by Quavo. First and 10. Handoff comes from Walls to Henley. Henley over the left side of the line. Hurdles forward to the 22.5-yard line. It'll be second down, 8 yards to go. Walls the quarterback. Fullback is Owen. Tailback is Henley. Henley again on a handoff going left, and he is pounded. He tried to run off tackle left. Eddie Wilson there, the linebacker, was waiting for him along with Carl Johnson. He lost a yard on the play from the 23 back to the 22. It'll be Henley has carried the ball 4 times for 6 yards. Walls on a quarterback draw is caught and stopped close to a first down. He got to the 25, made a fine move left up to the 28-yard line. On falling to the 29, it's very close to a first. Robert Pulliam made the tackle on him. There will be a measurement. It appears to me to be close to a first down. Well, it is close. It appears to be a first down, but they'll bring the chain in to measure. It will either Fuller is a flat man right inside of the split cannon. Here's Walls on a bootleg left. Turns to the 30, to the 32, to the 33-yard line. Got about 3.5 yards. Carl Johnson and Eddie Wilson make the tackle on Walls. The quarterback this year has carried the ball 28 times for 61 yards net in the Tennessee with a four-man front. Man in motion right. That will be Henley. Owens up the middle, and he is clogged up as he tries to wedge it out in the center. Pulliam and Wags through the two defensive tackles for Tennessee are there waiting on Owens. No gain on the play. It'll be third down, still 7 yards to go. The score 0-0, Tennessee and Auburn.
You probably have to start throwing a little shorter to get a little pressure off of him.
Third down long for Auburn. Walls, the quarterback, splits his running back. He's back to throw. He's waiting. He's looking. He's throwing out in the flat. It is completed to the 40. Up to the 42 to the 45-yard line. And then a marker flies. And it could be a late spear against Tennessee. The tackle was made by Conrad Graham at the 43-yard line of Auburn. As the pass was completed to the tight end, who was Dan Nugent. Nugent out of the flat right then was the victim of a late tackle, and Tennessee is going to have a penalty stepped off against the Volunteers. There's no score in the game. Here's the penalty. It will be for 15 yards against Tennessee. Or a spear or a late tackle. With 3:52 to go in the first quarter. In the I formation. Howard to the right side. Here comes Henley up the middle, spinning off one tackle at the 40, down to the Tennessee 38, onto the 37-yard line. Eddie Wilson, linebacker from Marietta, Georgia, was there first. Helped out finally by Rotella. Ball is moved to the 37-yard line on the pickup by Henley. A gain of 5, really, so it'll be second down and 5 yards to go for the Tigers. No score first quarter, but Auburn is moving. Walls in the eye. Rolling out right, delay comes to Henley. Henley has the ball at the 35. Henley down to the Tennessee 30. Great move by Henley. Swinging wide to the right, cutting inside. Was tackled by Conrad Graham at the Volunteer 30-yard line. That will be enough for the first down. First and 10 Auburn at the Volunteer 30. Henley is the tailback. Here he is in the middle, and he is slowed a little bit this time as he tried to veer left. Art Reynolds, the middle linebacker, wraps him up, and he falls forward from the 30 to the 28. Gain of 2 for Auburn. It will be second down and 8 yards to go for the Tigers at the Tennessee 28-yard line. The safeties, Brown and Pound. Howard to the right side, to the close side for Auburn. Here they come this way, and it's Henley cutting back across the grain, past the 25-yard line, and he jolts it down to the Tennessee 23. Carl Johnson and Eddie Wilson make the tackle. Fine blocking up front on that counter back to the weak side from Jay Casey and Mac Lorendo. Ball rests at the 21.5 as they finally spot it. Henley has carried the ball 4 straight times, for 4, for 7, for 2, now for 7 yards. And Auburn moving deep in Tennessee territory. They've kept it on the ground. Here's Henley right. Henley got, I believe, the first down as he spears past the 20-yard line, runs into Wilson, then Rotella is there. And we may have another measurement. Henley, very, very quick, an extremely quick starter, and he's lining up a football length inside the Tennessee 20-yard line. 1:29 to go in the first quarter. Walls on a pitch to Henley, coming to the right, to the 20. Spins and dives down to the Tennessee 15-yard line. A host of orange shirts are there to stop him. Eddie Wilson and Art Reynolds, also Carl Johnson. But Henley, again, grinding, and there are 57 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Auburn deep in Tennessee territory. Pitch comes to Henley, coming wide. Turns back and is held up as he gets to the 15-yard line. Simonton turned him inside. Conrad Graham was there waiting on him. After Henley taking a long pitch from Wall, thought about trying to get around the end. Simonton had him pretty well blocked off there, so he cut back to the interior and moved it down to the Tennessee 14-yard line. It will be third down 5 Auburn at the Tennessee 14-yard line. Wall, Henley up the middle. Henley at the 10, Henley at the 9-yard line. I think he's got a first down inside the Tennessee 10. Pulliam and Wilson tackle, but Auburn's offensive line firing off that ball, opens the hole, and Henley's got it first down and goal to go at the Tennessee 9-yard line. First and goal. Auburn at Tennessee 9. Henley has carried the ball 8 straight times. Tennessee to the line. There's the end of the first quarter. Auburn nothing, Tennessee nothing. The beautiful Vols unable to move with the ball. Had to punt it away, and Auburn took the punt. They're moving. First and goal at the Tennessee 9. Henley left. Henley at the 5. Henley at the 4. Henley at the 3. Henley down to the 2, all the way to the 1-yard line. Terry Henley, behind the block by Hamlin Caldwell, races it down to the 8 yards down to the Tennessee 1. Rotella was the man who makes the tackle on Henley at that point. But Terry Henley, a 6-foot, 188-pound senior from Oxford, Alabama, is simply knifing Tennessee all over the field with his first. Second down goal, Auburn at the 1-yard line of the Volunteers. Tennessee's goal line defense is there. Henley bolts. Did he make it? Yes. Touchdown, Auburn. Touchdown for the Flamesmen. An 80-yard drive in 16 plays. The last 10 plays of which were carried by Terry Henley. Henley carried the ball 10 straight times, and Auburn leads Tennessee by a score of 6-0. In to attempt the extra point will be Gardner Jett, and holding will be Wall. Auburn 6, Tennessee nothing, as Auburn goes 80 yards in 16 plays, 1 pass, and it was a big one for a first down, but mostly it was on the ground, and mostly it was Terry Henley. Extra point. Snap down. Kick is up. The kick by Jett is good. There's time out on the field. The score, Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing. As Tennessee in the second, Vols was back to pass. He fumbled the ball. Tennessee recovered at the 30. Ran a first to the 18, then flipped. 15-yard penalty stopped the drive. Punted out of bounds. Auburn goes 80 yards for the touchdown. Short kick. It's got a bounce at the 20, and is taken and dropped at that point by one of the F receivers. It was Terry Moore, and Moore made a rather alert play on that kick. It bounced in front of him. He was kicked high, and the wind held it up, and Sandback couldn't get up to the ball in time. So it bounced at the 18. It is, of course, a free ball. Moore grabbed it and just was decked at that point. 10 at the 18-yard line. Sandback is back in there at tailback. In motion out toward you comes Chip Howard. Holloway, the quarterback. Sandback up the middle, slips and falls. Got back to the line of scrimmage, was pinned by Sidley. But just as Sandback tried to make his cut back to the left, he slipped and fell. Second down, still 10 yards to go for Tennessee. For those of you who followed, was the key, carrying the ball 10 times in that drive. Holloway back to throw. Flares it out in the left to Sandback. Juggles the ball and is thrown for a loss. Tennessee goes to the flare pass out into the left flat. Sandback juggled the ball, never could get up ahead of steam, and was really racked up on a tackle, and he's going to lead the game again as Runner is coming in to replace the injured Sandback. The ball will be spotted at the 17-yard line. David Langner is the man who was over to cover Sandback on the play. Third down, 11 to go. Wide right comes Howard. 5-man front for Auburn. Holloway looking over the defense. Rolling back to throw. Here comes the blitz. He's in trouble. Breaks away from one man to the 15, to the 17, and he is swarmed under by 4 of the Auburn Tigers. Denny Sidley was there for it. Holloway unable to free himself, and so coming into the ball game for Tennessee will be Neil Claybo. Claybo has punted 2 times in the game. Auburn defensively fired up, very active, and really putting on the hit. And it will be Claybo to punt. Deep for Auburn goes Simmons, standing back at his own 45. Claybo's punted away. A high, zooming spiral. Backing up Simmons, takes the catch to the 40. Looks for a wall. Coming to the near sideline. Gives ground. Reverse. Gets back to the 41-yard line. And is swarmed under that. The Tigers will have the ball first down at 10 to go at the Auburn 40-yard line. Quarterback is Walls on a give. Here it is Henley again through the left side of the line. Over tackle from the 40 to the 41, 42 on to the 43-yard line. Gain of 3. Second down and 7 yards to go. Henley has carried the ball 15 times for 50 yards in the game. He's the tailback. Gives to Henley. Henley knifing through the left side of the line this time over guard. Edges past the 45 to the 46-yard line of the Tigers. Art Reynolds makes the tackle on him there. But he continues to crunch out the yardage. Henley now has gained 6 yards in this series, making it third down and 4 yards to go. Tennessee linebackers shift to the right. Let's see. This is Rotella coming out to the strong side toward you. Henley now shifts as they split their running back. Tennessee reacts as Walls is back to throw. Pass out into the flat, incomplete. It was intended for the tight end. Defending for Tennessee over there was David Allen. Spivey was the tight end on that pass attempt, which was incomplete. It becomes fourth down, and still 4 yards to go for the Tigers. Fine punter, averaging well over 43 yards per punt this year. Deep for Tennessee is Eddie Brown. Snap, Beverly. Tennessee, no, he's got to run with the ball at the 40. It opens up to the 45, to the 50, down to the 45, and he is thrown at the Tennessee 44-yard line. Tennessee had to return on. Then there is a marker down, and a clip has been called against Tennessee in addition, I think. Tennessee had to return on. They just caved in the left side of the line, and Beverly, seeing it open up, races upfield to the Tennessee 44-yard line. A flag flew at that point, and the officials indicating a clip on the play. The clip is against Tennessee. Auburn has the ball in Tennessee territory at the 28-yard line. Here's Henley. Left side, runs into his own man, and is shoved back upfield to the 30. But his momentum got him back to the line of scrimmage. John Wagster stacks it up for Tennessee. Eddie Wilson was there along with Carl Johnson. Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing. 10:34 to go in the first half of this game. And since it has been basically a ball control game for Auburn, the contest is just flying by. Henley comes out, and Unger is in to replace him. Unger, the tailback. Walls. Unger cuts back into the middle, and he is nice as he gets to the 27 or 26-yard line. Eddie Wilson plugs up the gap just as Unger was half a step from breaking for sizable yardage, cutting back across the grain. Wilson recovered to make the tackle of him. Ball is at the 26-yard line. Into the game comes that tight end, Dan Nugent. Walls the quarterback. Tailback is Unger. Fullback remains Owen. Now from the left side comes Cannon. Shifting out a little bit is the fullback. Back to throw is Walls. He's got some time. Pass downfield, incomplete. It was intended for Unger. Actually playing the ball through him was David Allen. The pass is incomplete. It will be fourth down, and let's see if Beverly comes in, or will it be Jett? Jett is coming into the game. The wind is not, well, it's still a pretty good wind. He'll be kicking into it, indeed he tries the field goal. Auburn leads by a score of 7-0. The will attempt a 43-yard field goal into the wind. Down, the kick by Jett is up. He hits it pretty well. The kick is no good off to the right. There's time out of the field to score. Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing. Holloway bobbles the handoff, falls on it forward from the 20 to the 22-yard line on the snap from center. Gain of 2. It'll be second down, 8 yards to go. Auburn leads Tennessee 7-0. In the backfield for the Vols, Holloway at quarterback. The tailback is Rutter. The fullback is Paul Carruthers, 5'11", 205-pound sophomore from Lafayette, Georgia. Wing back. Now let's see. Yes, he's going to shift down the right side. That will be Stan Trott. Auburn with a 5-man front. They've been blitzing all afternoon long. Holloway looking over the defense. Now rolling out to the right side to throw. Pulls it down, gets to the 20 to the 25 to the 26-yard line. Was tackled at the 26. Trailing him was Burnett and also David Hughes, the defensive end on the left side. It'll be short of a first by 4 yards. Tennessee has only one first down in the game. It came on the first series. Auburn has been very aggressive defensively. Tennessee, has 2 first downs. Auburn, on the other hand, has 7 points as they ground out 80 yards in 16 plays in the first quarter. Carruthers to fullback. Third down, 4 yards to go. Holloway looks over the defense. It's now a 4-man front. Linebackers up close. Holloway spreading out to the left side. Pulls it down. It's caught. Boom! Behind the line. It's getting to the 19-yard line. Converging Hughes and Sansbury. Holloway looking downfield to pass, saw nobody free, and he was thrown for a sizable loss back to the 19-yard line. It'll be fourth down and 11 yards to go, as Tennessee still unable to crank up anything offensively. A flight for 14 yards minus. Snap to Claybo. The punt by Claybo is a wobbly end over end. It's going to be played by Langner at the 45, gets back to the 47 to the 48, and is tackled at the 49-yard line of Auburn. So, once again, Auburn has excellent field position. A 37-yard punt, a 5-yard return. Auburn in the game. In this quarter, had it at the 40-yard line. In the first period, they put the ball in play at the 35, at the 19, after stopping at him, along with the running of Henley, of course. Auburn with the ball. Tailback is Henley. Juggles it, then grabs it back, has it at the 50, falls back to the left side as he spins to the Tennessee 48, onto the 47, and falls forward to the 45-yard line. David Campbell, a defensive end from Nashville, makes the tackle on him, but he's down a short 5 to go for Auburn in Tennessee territory, where much of the game has been played. Walls on a handoff to Owen. Owen through the right side of the line, gets a fine block from Ferrier, has the ball at the Tennessee 40-yard line, where it's enough for a first down. Fulia makes the tackle, but Auburn has it first down and 10 to go at the Volunteer 40-yard line. Auburn is keeping it on the ground. They're running right at Tennessee with Henley. Again, power eye to the right side. Hash mark on that side. Here is the reverse coming back to the near side. Turning inside is Danny Jeffries, the defensive back from Dyersburg, Tennessee, and carrying the ball that time was Mike Fuller from the 40 down to the 38 or 37-yard line. Towns helped out on the tackle along with Jeffries, who turned it inside. But Auburn again picks up 2.5 yards on the play. We'll make it second down, a good 7 yards to go for the Plainsmen, keeping it on the ground and running right at Tennessee and doing it most effectively. Power eye, same set to the right side. Split in that way. Here comes the play toward you. Walls keeps, caught from behind, but he gets yardage past the Tennessee 35 to the 34. David Campbell caught him from behind and rode him down as Walls on the opposite left keeps and slides it down to the 34. Auburn has to move it inside the 30 for a first. Running back split. Third down, 5 to go. Too much time, Auburn. Back to throw Walls, but a marker fly. So Auburn is going to sustain its first penalty of the wide right for Auburn as the flanker goes Fuller. They've got a slot toward you. Walls back to throw, looking at the slot over this way, throws across the middle, intercepted and dropped by Tennessee. Let's see if it's an intercepted pass and fumble. No, it's an incomplete forward pass. It was picked out by Eddie Wilson, who then ran into the intended receiver, the tight end, who was Nugent, juggled the ball, and it was pounced upon by Tennessee, but it was adjudged that Wilson never had control of the ball, so that Auburn will have it fourth down and 9 yards to go, and into the ball game comes Beverly. 4:58 left to go. 21 time after recovering a fumble at the Auburn 30. Auburn fourth down long. Back to punt is Beverly. This time he gets his punt away, drilling it toward the near sideline. It looks like a fine punt and will go out of bounds inside the Tennessee 20-yard line at the 17. So once Chansey slots inside of Howard to the left side, wide out to the right comes Love. Fullback or tailback in there is Rudder. Holloway checking off. He's got to get to Rudder. Rudder runs into a crowd as he charges past the 20 and pulls his way to the 21-yard line. Stands free at the bottom of the heap. What a job he's done defensively for the Tigers. Gain from the 17 to the 21. To the wide side of the field left. Now they shift Howard out that way. Chansey out that way as a slot man just outside of Sonny Leach, the tight end. Holloway looking over the defense. Delay, draw off the middle. Rudder to the 25. Nice blocking tackle in the middle by Ken Burney, the sophomore linebacker, as he falls to the 26-yard line. It'll be short of the first by a yard, a little more. Tennessee's third down, a yard to go, with 4 minutes and 4 seconds in the first half remaining. Auburn has 8. Third down play, Tennessee. Field position, a game of third downs. And Auburn comes up with a virtual 8-man line. That's what it is, an 8-man line. Fullback is Chansey. Holloway's checking off with that defense. Going to come right, rolling back to the left side, being hemmed in, giving ground, is caught, is thrown, brought off way back downfield at the 13-yard line. As Auburn is coming after the quarterback. And Holloway that time checked off of the line of scrimmage after seeing that 8-man line. Then tried to roll left to throw a pass. He never had a chance as he was swarmed under by Sansbury and Burney. And Auburn defensively just a sterling job here this afternoon. Fourth down, and for Tennessee, 13 yards to go. So Claiborne will punt once again from deep in his own territory. Deep for Auburn goes Simmons. Snap, punt by Claiborne. A wobbly end over in front. Taken at the 50-yard line by Auburn. It's Beck with the ball. Beck gets to the 49, up to the 50, and he's tackled at the Tennessee 49. There is a marker down at the Auburn 48-yard line with 2:58 to go in the first half. The punt is good for 38 yards. A 6-yard return on it. There could have been a clip on Auburn. I think that's the indication. So here comes a step off against the Plainsman of 15 yards. They kept it on the ground. Tennessee with that split 4-man front. Walls with a little mix-up keeps the ball, gets back to the line of scrimmage and falls to the 36 where Wilson pins him. Eddie Wilson there defensively. Rotella also for Tennessee. Gain of a yard. It'll be second down and 9 to go. Second down 9. 2:30 to go in the first half. Walls to the fullback. Owen. Nice move. Cutting left back to the 36, to the 38, to the 40. He's tackled by Wagster and Campbell at the 40-yard line. Quick feet by James Owen, a senior from Fairfield, Alabama.
He hasn't had time to find anybody down the field.
Third down for Auburn, 5 yards to go. Handoff comes to Owens. Owens checking for a first down, gets to the 38. And powers his way to the 39-yard line. Appears to be just a hair short of the first, but not by much. Reynolds and Rotella. Wagster also. Owens running with great authority. Tennessee asks for timeout to stop the clock. There's timeout on the field with a score. Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing. Beverly a fine punter. Tennessee may have the rush on. They've got 8 men up. Now they're dropping back into punt coverage. Snap to Beverly. He gets his punt away. A high foul. Brown trails to the near sideline, then watches the ball go out of bounds. Upfield in the vicinity of the Tennessee 27-yard line. The Vols will have it first down and 10 to go at the 27. The punt is good for 30 yards. Auburn leads into a virtual now. They go back to that 4-4 as Tennessee shifts. Holloway keeps them in the eye. The tailback is Rudder. Holloway gives to Rudder. Rudder over the left side. No. Nothing at all. He gets a yard or two, but he was stood up by Sanspree and Lanier. As Auburn defensively is overpowering Tennessee.
They just haven't been able to. It looks like the offensive line is getting whipped a little bit at this point in the ball game because there just hasn't been many holes there for the backs to try to get in.
Give him a yard on the play. Second down, 9 yards. Howard shifts to a slot man left inside of Love. Wide right shifts Leach. Now Howard, the man in motion out toward Leach. To give up the middle goes to Chancey. Chancey straight ahead past the 30 to the 31-yard line as the clock is running with 54 seconds left to go in the first half. James Lanier there on the tackle once again for Auburn. Ball at the 31. The drive started at the 27. That'll be shifting wide left goes Howard. Inside of him goes Chancey. Out to the right left. Pitch goes to Rudder trying to get to the corner at the 30. Cuts up to the 34. And he's stopped at that point short on the first down. Good coverage on the corner by Danny Sanspree. With help from the cornerback who came up, David Langner. Short of a first. It'll be fourth down for Tennessee at the 34-yard line of the Volunteers. Clock is running with 11 seconds to go, and both teams may be content to just let it run out. 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the end of the first half. 60-second break. I tell you the score at the end of the first half is Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing.
I think it was.
First half is Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing.
I think it was a hard-hitting first half, typical of a Tennessee-Auburn football game. Auburn, as you said, everything worked out fine for them. They made the decision to kick the ball off, stand back, bobble it a little bit down there before he could get a handle on it, and they had to start out deep in their own territory. They've just about been there all day, with the exception when they had an opportunity to turn the situation around. They took the break and got a penalty there, and it got them thrown in the hole. And then they were against the win, and from there on, it's been Auburn in field position and everything else. So I thought Auburn did an excellent job on that 80-yard drive. They didn't make a mistake and move down the field. Down there, lining that tailback up 8 yards deep, there's nothing fancy about anything they're doing. They start the motion out to the right. Our defense pursues very quickly, and as a result of it, the linebackers are laying off a little bit, and they're going after the flow, and then he just sets it right back up the middle, and he's done it time and time again on that particular drive. Every now and then they'll give it to the big fullback and pop him in there, but there's been nothing fancy at all about what they're doing, but they just in the first half, I thought they possibly wanted to win the football game a little bit more, and they've really been hitting, passing some licks out there.
Down below the Pride of the Southland band in their circle drill. We'll pick up some of the music as the Pride of the Southland plays Happy Heart. Famous in Birmingham, Alabama, except that this time it was Tennessee's option. The Volunteers elect to receive the ball. Auburn had the option to kick off, to make the selection as the first kickoff came about earlier this afternoon. They elected to take the win. Kicked to Tennessee. The Vols fumbled it, recovered it at the 6-yard line, overcame that poor field position with a recovered fumble moments later, but unable to take the ball in. Tennessee coughed it up, and Auburn, taking that punt, went 80 yards in 16 plays to have the only score in this football game as the second half is set to get underway. Kicking off will be Wilson. Deep for Tennessee, Standback, and Howard. The wind is still brisk. Kicking off will be Wilson. Here is his kick. And he really bounced it. That was going to go deep in the end zone, and Standback lets it roll on through. So he had the wind, and he really kicked one downfield. Tennessee will have it on the touchback at the 20-yard line. Rudder will be in a tailback. And let's see. Holloway will be the quarterback. Chancey will be your fullback. Slot left, this will be Howard. Chancey outside the right end. In motion back to the right side goes Howard. Draw off the middle, goes Rudder. Rudder gets the hold to the 25, to the 26, to the 27, maybe to the 28-yard line. Blocking up front by Emmendorfer and Johnson as Tennessee fires off the ball about as effectively as they've done since early in this contest. Rudder goes for 8 yards. Second down and 2. Tackle, Lanier and Sansfree. In the front for Tennessee, Earl and Schaefer the tackles. Mitchell and Emmendorfer the guards. Johnson the center. Split in Love, wide right. Tight end Leach to the left side. Power eye to the right side. Tennessee will shift, bringing, let's see, Chancey outside the tight end left. Running back is Rudder. Chancey in motion back to the far side of the field. Holloway, Rudder up the middle, fighting for the first down. He's got it past the 30 to the 31 to the 32-yard line. He was tackled at the 32 by Luca and by Bernie. It'll be first down Tennessee, blocking by Emmendorfer and Schaefer up front for Tennessee. Put it at the 33-yard line in Tennessee territory. Auburn leading 7-0 third quarter. 14 minutes left to go in the third period of the game. Leach slipped by 8 yards wide to the right side. Howard is the flat man left. The running backs are split. The give goes to the tailback, and that is Chancey, and Chancey is hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. Ken Bernie, a middle linebacker, who's done a whale of a job in there for Auburn. He's a sophomore, 6'3", 244, but shows great quickness for such size. Makes the stop. Got a half a yard. We'll call it second down and 10 yards to go. Tennessee tried to counter back against the flow, but Bernie was there waiting. Four-man front. A lot of stunning around there by the Auburn defense. Tennessee with the running back split. In motion there goes Howard to the right side. Holloway on the keeper to the 35, breaks outside, and is thrown at the 36-yard line. Fumbles the ball, but he was down before he did. Dave Beck, who was a teammate of Holloway in high school at Huntsville, was the man who came up to make the tackle on Holloway, and they spotted at the 35.5-yard line. Wide left comes Howard. Wide right Love. Running back, that's Chancey. Holloway dropping back to throw. Here's the blitz. Across the middle pass. Complete. Leach. 46, 47, 48-yard line. That open has been middle. That middle has been open, and this time it was Holloway right on target to the tight end, Sonny Leach. He was tackled by Simmons and Neal, but Tennessee has it first and 10 at the 49-yard line.
John, that's what they've got to do. They were failing to do that in the first half. I think they're blitzing them every time. They had both linebackers coming that time, but he hit this quick turn in, and they picked their linebackers up real good. That's what you've got to do to cut down that effectiveness and slow them down a little bit.
First and 7-10, Tennessee trailing 7-0 at the Volunteer 49. Rudder over the right side to the 50, squirts it down to the 47-yard line of Auburn. Just wedging up the middle, following behind the blocking of Emmendorfer and Mitchell and Tom Johnson. Sibley and Bernie sort of fall forward to make the stop on 2nd down and 6 yards to go, Tennessee in the eye. Holloway on a reverse is going to go deep to Trot. Trot is good. Way back downfield at the 39-yard line by Danny Sanspree. There is a marker down on the play also. Well, Auburn saw that reverse coming, and Trot giving ground. Went deep, was way back downfield at the 39-yard line, and then there might have been a clip in addition to that, where it is now 2nd down and 34 yards to go. 2nd and 34. Tennessee shift. Auburn's got a 4-man. Here's Holloway back to throw. He's going to run out of there to the 25, up to the 30, to the 35. Caught from behind and pounded to the ground at the 37-yard line. A wicked tackle by the trailing Sanspree. Holloway upfield to the 37-yard line from the 21, from the 25. So it's a gain of 12 yards on the play, but it makes it 3rd down and 22 yards to go. 3rd down and 22 yards to go. In the I formation. Holloway on the delay, being blitzed, gives ground to the right side, being sailed over that way, throws the pass downfield, it is incomplete. It was intended for Emmett Love at the 47-yard line. Dave Beck jumps in front to deflect the ball away, incomplete. So Auburn has stopped Tennessee. 4th down and 22 to go. The ball's now Condredge Holloway, who's gone all the way at quarterback, has thrown it 5 times, completing 4 for 17 yards. In the punt for Tennessee will be Claybo against the wind. Deep for Auburn goes Simmons. James Pat Langner now is drifting back there deep. Snap to Claybo. They got the rush on. He gets the punt away. A wobbly spiral, angling to the near sideline. Taken by Langner, who then steps out of bounds immediately with it at the Auburn 28-yard line. Fullback Horn. Tailback Henley. Split wide right Cannon. Here's Henley up the middle to the 30. Henley to the 31 to the 32-yard line. Behind Caldwell and Ferrier. Wagster and Wilson tackle in there. He grinds out 4 yards. 2nd down and 6 yards to go at the 32. Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing. Henley continues to run, and he has carried the ball, I think, 19 times. We'll check to make sure. 2nd down and 6. There's Owen, tripped up the line of scrimmage, but his momentum vaults him forward from the 32 to the 33.5-yard line. Wagster submarine to make the tackle. The pin was then made by Reynolds at the 33. 5 yards to go. Auburn's just doing the same thing time after time. Back to throw Walls on the draw. Same play they gained on before. It works again to the 35, at the 37, at the 38. Up to the 39-yard line comes Wald on the quarterback draw. 1st down Auburn. As Auburn stays very, very basic. But it's working and working well. Tennessee goes with a 5-man down front. 1st down Auburn. Henley, left side, hit at the line of scrimmage at the 39, twists off to the 40. Robert Pulliam gave him a pretty good joke. And you have to admire a young man like Henley, who has carried that ball now 20 times for 64 yards. He's taken a lot of punishment. But he does have good body angle when he's hit. He normally has excellent angle on the for 300 and close to 370 yards. Here is Walls on a keeper left, pitching the ball back to Henley. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Tennessee played that option well. The defensive end was Simonton. Graham came up to plug the gap. Towns was there also, as was Eddie Brown. So it's a loss on the play of a couple of yards. 3rd down 12. Auburn. He's got a 4-man down front. Auburn comes out in the spread for the first time. Wide to the left side goes Henley. Walls back to throw, looking, waiting. Comes out of the pocket, runs with the football to the 38, to the 39, and he is belted. He took a real look at the 39-yard line. Eddie Wilson was the man who contained him, and it was Reynolds who got up ahead of steam and came downfield to make the final twitching tackle. Short of a first. It'll be 4th down 10, so Auburn will be in punt formation, and deep for Tennessee goes Eddie Brown. Tennessee may have the rush on. Here's the snap. Beverly gets the punt away, and again, he hangs it high. Brown trails under the ball, will make the catch to the 10. Gets the block. Gets it deep to the 5. He's going to be thrown at the Tennessee 3 or 4-yard line. Sensational punt coverage by Auburn as Brown was the man who made the catch at about the 10-yard line. He got a block as he made the catch by David Allen that freed him for a moment, but he gave a little too much yardage and was finally tackled at the 3-yard line. Was carried back into the end zone, but his forward progress had him to the 3. 51-yard punt in the third period of the game. Holloway, runner, right side to the 4, falls forward to maybe the 5-yard line. Sibley was there on the tackle. Defensively, Auburn has been quite effective, and I think, Bill Anderson, that the field position has had a great deal to do with Auburn's effectiveness.
It's had an awful lot to do with it, John. Of course, they've been with that great kicking game. They've had Tennessee in the hole. Tennessee can't open up. They're a little bit afraid to do a whole lot of things on their own territory, and they crowd them and really get after them.
Runner up the middle this time on a get from Holloway, past the 5 to the 6-yard line. It'll be far short of a first. Tennessee's got to get it out to the 13-yard line for the first. Sibley again, along with Burnage on the tackle. The wind is south. Auburn with a 5-man front. Tennessee third down long from the 5 or 6-yard line. Holloway back in the end zone, looking across the middle. Pass is overthrown incomplete, intended for Emmett Love at the 22-yard line. Pass was high over his head. Defending all the way with him was Simmons. So Quavo will be punting from his own end zone on 4th down long. They've got the rush on now with the sophomore Quavo deep in the end zone. The snap, he's going to run out of there. He's up to the 5, he's up to the 10, he's up to the 15, he's up to the 20, he's to the 25, he's to the 30-yard line. Tennessee's got it first. At the 30-yard line. That might have been a called play. I think it was. I don't know. John Otway. Auburn was as surprised as anybody, and Quavo just ran straight up the middle from deep in his own end zone. Howard in there as the slot man left. Holloway looking over the defense. There's Rubin on the right side. Holloway keeps and falls. Flags all over the place. Tennessee was in motion. The right side jump. There's a penalty of 5-yard stepped up against Tennessee. So it's 1st and 15. 1st and 15 at the 25-yard line. Holloway checking off again. Now he gives it up the middle to Chance. He got a yard. That's all. Noses it past the 25-yard line. Sibley playing it awfully tough in the middle, and Burnage is there again. He's a sophomore. Play to be resumed. Tennessee trailing 7-0. They shift. Holloway at quarterback. His running backs are split. In motion back to the right side goes Chip Howard. Holloway on the delay. Runner at the 25. Runner at the 26 at the 27 and 8-yard line. About the 27, that's where they'll stop him. A whole host of Tigers were there. Luca, Burnage, and Welch. All in there as Auburn is really pursuing, hovering around the ball. Shifting out to the left side comes Rudder as a slot man on 3rd down long. In motion, here comes Howard. Out here toward the strong side. Holloway spinning out this way. Looking, throws the ball down to Howard. Over his head, out of bounds. Incomplete at the 31-yard line. A little pressure that time on Holloway, forcing the pass a little early over the head of the intended receiver, Howard. Incomplete. So once again, it's 4th down. On a 4th down. 23. Snap. Quavo's got a punt. He gets it away, and he bangs it pretty well, but it's angling for the far sideline and goes out of bounds upfield. He hit it well, but it was angled out of bounds way upfield at the 49-yard line of Auburn. They put it at the 48. Auburn has the ball at the 48. Quavo really hit the punt, but it just angled out of bounds, and it's good for only 25 yards. Auburn in good field position at the 48-yard line. Power eye to the close side, away from you. Walls, there's Henley. Up the middle, Henley got a yard. To the 49, runs into Wilson. The linebacker for Tennessee along with Pulliam. Ball at the 48.5-yard line, maybe a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9, Auburn. The Tigers lead Tennessee 7-0 after an 80-yard drive in the first half of the game. From that tailback position, he lines up about 6 or 7 yards behind the center. Here's Henley to the left side. Here's back to the interior. Slices past the 50 and down to the Tennessee 48-yard line. He was met there by Wilson and Rotella. He's stringing off there as fresh as anybody. Wall on a give. Owens up the middle, fighting for first down yardage. He will be a bit short, I believe, as he carries it past the Tennessee 45. Bangs it down to the 43 or 44-yard line, where Rotella and Puglia make the tackle. Beverly enters the game to punt, and once again he has the opportunity to back Tennessee deep in its own territory. In this half, the Vols have put the ball in play twice, once at the 20 and once at the 3. The other was a 51-yard punt, which Brown received. The rush is on, the punt is away, and he hangs this one up toward the far sideline. Is going to bounce out of bounds deep in Tennessee territory inside the 15-yard line. Beverly kick has been outstanding. There's time on the field to score. Tennessee trailing 7-0. Tennessee will have the ball. First down is standing at the 13-yard line. Look at this runner over the right side of the line. Runner to the 15, runner to the 17, to the 18. Fumbles the football, and it's been recovered by Auburn at the 20-yard line. Auburn recovers the fumble of Letter at the 20. And on the ball is Sands free. So Tennessee, which had not fumbled nor intercepted, had a pass intercepted, fumbles it here. As coming over the right side of the line with good yardage was Rutter. Fumbled it at the 17. It's recovered at the 20 by Auburn. The Tigers lead 7-0 with 1:28 to go in the third quarter. So Auburn leading 7-0 over Tennessee. The defense for the Volunteers has been tested this afternoon. Wall pitches the ball back to Henley. Henley at the 20. Henley is bombed at the 20-yard line. That end played it well. We'll check to make sure who it is. Rotella came up, Graham also, but the defensive end was Simonton. After a little loss on the play, on the pitch from Walls going to Henley. The wide stuff hasn't really worked that well for Auburn. They gained most of it inside the tackle. Power to the wide side of the field. Give Owens up the middle, and Owens shoots it past the 20, down to the Tennessee 17, on to the 16-yard line. Stopped at the 16 by Eddie Wilson was there, and Mike Moorman, who's in there defensively at a tackle, replacing Pulliam. Ball at the 16. It will be third down, 6 yards to go for the first. And Auburn must be thinking that if they can't make the first down, they want to kick the field goal attempt with the win. Walls. Owens goes left, fights for the first down. He didn't make it, but he did center the ball right between the goalposts. And Auburn is looking to the sideline to Jet. The clock is running with 14 seconds to go. Onto the ball, onto the field comes Jet, and Auburn is going to ask for timeout. With timeout to score, Auburn 7, Tennessee nothing. On the 20-yard line. Tennessee mass to rush. 7-0 to score. There's the kick. It's in the air. The kick by Jet is good. So Auburn has its 10-point lead as Gardner Jet hits it from the 20. A 30-yard field goal attempt by Gardner Jet. And the Tigers lead Tennessee by a score of 10-0. Chip Howard. Auburn leads 10-0. A recovered fumble a moment ago set up the field goal by Jet. Here's the kick. It's going to be a short one. Will be taken by one of the up men at the 13, 17-yard line. Up to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, 35, 40, 45, up to the 50-yard line is Bill Rutter. He was caught by Dave Beck. 37-yard kickoff return by Rutter as Wilson hung it up high and short. Tennessee is in Auburn territory for only the third time in this game. And the third quarter has come to an end. That's the end of the third period. With the score, Auburn 10, Tennessee nothing. Valbuena with Carruthers and Standback behind him. 5-man front for Auburn. Standback left, slips and falls as he gets to the 48-yard line. Just as he was ready to make his cut, he slips and he falls. Gain of a yard and a half. Second down, a good 8 to go for Tennessee at the Auburn 48. Auburn leads. An 80-yard touchdown drive in the first half. A recovered fumble at the Volunteer 20 sets up a field goal of 30 yards by Jet, and that's the difference, 10-0. Valbuena backed by Carruthers and Standback. Second down 8. Valbuena to throw. Across the middle pass, complete to the tight end at the Auburn 34-yard line. Jimmy Young is in there to make the catch. It'll be first for Tennessee, 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line as Valbuena arches it in to Jimmy Young on the same pattern which worked earlier in this half from Holloway to Leach. Tennessee in the air now is 5 of 8 for 32 yards. Wide left, Love. Wide to the right side will come. Well, Jimmy Young is splitting out by 4 yards to tight end. 1st and 10 Tennessee. In motion toward you comes Howard. Valbuena. Back to throw again. Looking, waiting. Screen out into the flat intended for Carruthers. Was deflected at the line of scrimmage by Sanspree. It is incomplete. They had the screen set up pretty well out on the left side. Downfield, we see a marker. And we'll wait and see what the call is. There's a marker downfield, and I think there's got to be a penalty upcoming, perhaps, against Tennessee. Auburn is being conferred with. Second down because it was a loss of down penalty, a very costly one. Valbuena will be back to throw. Here comes the blitz. Here's the long pass downfield. It is intercepted by Auburn at the 30-yard line. Then he drops the ball. After intercepting it, Beck intercepted the ball, was tackled by Howard. Then he dropped it, and it is ruled an incomplete forward pass. Well, Beck had it all the way, and it appeared to me to be intercepted, but it's ruled incomplete. Valbuena has Sandback as a slot man left. Back to throw is Valbuena. Here comes the rush. He's looking. He's throwing downfield. Intercepted by Auburn. This time at the 42-yard line. It was Sandback who caught it immediately by Howard. And Auburn has the ball at the Auburn 44, 1st down and 10 to go. Auburn's interception by Beck as Valbuena was rushed. And he forced the pass a little bit, intending it for Howard. It was underthrown. Beck jumped in front, getting to the ball perfectly to intercept it, and Auburn has it 1st down and 10 to go at its own 44-yard line. 13:40 to go in this game. Wall juggles the handoff and alertly just falls on it for a loss, but he's got the ball. And Auburn's got a 10-point lead, and the clock is running. Slot to the left side or close side of the field. Up the middle, Owens. Owens gets to the 45-yard line, runs into Eddie Wilson and Mike Moorman of Tennessee. Gain of a couple of yards to the 45. It'll be 3rd down upcoming for Auburn. And Auburn, of course, very deliberately, patiently going back into the huddle, watching the clock count off. Auburn, 3rd down, still about 10 yards to go, about 9. Here's Walls giving it over to Unger, and Unger passed the left side of the line to the 45, on to the 47-yard line. Auburn appeared to me to line up offside. No, Tennessee lined up offside. Tennessee lined up offside, and so Auburn is going to get a penalty of 5 yards. Eye to the close side. Tennessee with a 5-man front. Here's the tailback. This is Unger trying for the 1st down. He is short of the 1st down as he just catapults from the 49 down to the Tennessee 47-yard line, where Rotella and Wilson make the tackle. They spotted at the 48. It will be 4th down, and Beverly is in to punt. The ball's had field position on the great kickoff return by Rudder. Snap. Beverly gets the punt away. It's a high one. Brown asks for a fair catch, then watches the ball bounce, and it kicks out of bounds in the vicinity of the 23-yard line. There is a marker down on the field of play. The ball bounces out of bounds at the 23-yard line. The score is Auburn 10, Tennessee nothing. Auburn has led all the way. Holloway is coming back in there at quarterback. The officials are discussing that punt, incidentally, was good for 25 yards. In the game, Beverly has punted 5 times. With 11:56 to go, Auburn leads 10 to nothing. In motion, there goes Rudder back toward Howard to the wide side. Up the middle comes Carruthers. Carruthers dancing past the 40-yard line to the 41 of Tennessee. He was stopped by the middle of that Auburn line, led by Sidley, Sanspree, and Burney. Ball just nose past the 40-yard line, starting this drive at the 37. It'll be 2nd down and 7 yards to go for Tennessee. Auburn got virtually a 7-man front up there. In motion, there goes Rudder off to the wide side of the field. Holloway following out that way, drops the pass to Rudder, makes the catch at the 40, and is upended on a one-on-one open field tackle at the 45-yard line by David Langner. It will be short of a first by 2. Rudder had room, but Langner, great defensive play on the corner. It'll be third down 2.
Has done an excellent job of taking that away from us today.
Third down 2. Holloway back to throw, waiting, looking, going to run with the ball. Caught from behind, dropped at the 45-yard line, short of the first down. Holloway's tight end downfield leap was pretty well covered. That was his primary receiver. Field 23 yards is in there to punt. Snaps the play ball, rush but gets the punt away. Hangs it high. Trailing at Simmons at the 20, to the 22, to the 23 is out of bounds to the 24-yard line. Auburn has it. There's time out of the field. Auburn has the ball. First down and 10 to go at its own 24-yard line, leading 10 to nothing. Vols going to give to Henley. Henley over right tackle this time, past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Pulliam is there on the tackle for Tennessee. It's a gain of 2. It will be second down and 8 yards to go for Tennessee. The clock shows 9:46. Left to go in the game. Auburn leads 10 to nothing. Second down, 8 yards to go. Hand off Henley. Henley is met at the line of scrimmage. Wagster there first. Turning up to help out Johnson and Reynolds. And they'll spot it at about the 27-yard line. A gain of a yard, third down and 7 yards to go for Auburn. Auburn leads 10-0 over Tennessee. 7-0 lead. Then after recovering a Tennessee fumble, they got a field goal at 10-0. Auburn leading. Third and 7. Walls rolling out to the right side is contained and will be decked at the 30-yard line, short of the first by 4. Simonson and Graham read the play all the way, but Walls is able to count off about another 1 minute and 30 seconds. Fancy 10 points. As Auburn leads 10-0. Beverly is into punt. Tennessee appears to have the rush on. Here's the snap at the low one, but he gets the punt away. The line drive punt. Brown comes up, watches it bounce, and takes a good Auburn bounce. He makes the pick up at the 30, and he's going to be blocked under at the 28 or 9-yard line. Running backs will be Chansey and Standback. Quarterback is Holloway. Fakes against the Standback. Back to throw is Holloway, and he is going to run with the football. Forward he gets to the 25, back to the 27-yard line, and he's tackled at that point. Bob Newton defensively there for Auburn. Down. Running out of that set. Holloway. Keith goes left and is tackled at the line of scrimmage by a diving Ken Birney. Holloway unable to get wide to the left, as Bernie dives in to make the stop of him for a loss of yet another yard. Back to the who was born and grew up in the shadow of Legion Field, has brought his team to Legion Field 3 times, is yet to win, and trails in this game 10-0. Valbuena. Those linebackers, an ominous threat for Auburn. Here they come. Valbuena back to throw. Here's the pass across the middle, complete, upfield at the 42-yard line to a swirling Emmon Love, who ran a pattern back to the interior, made a diving catch at the 42 in front of the cornerback on that side, Langner. It will be a first down for Tennessee as Valbuena throws it complete to Emmon Love. Ball at the Tennessee 42-yard line. First down 10. 6:50 left to go in the game. Auburn 10, Tennessee nothing. Valbuena has them in the I formation. 5-man front for Auburn. 2 linebackers in the middle. Valbuena to throw. Here's the blitz. The cross pass complete to Tennessee down to the Auburn 41-yard line again to Emmon Love. Ball at the Auburn 41. Tackle made by Mike Neal, the roverback, who stayed with Love downfield. But the pass was right on target by Valbuena, and Tennessee has another first down. Wide right for the Volunteers comes Skip Howard. Auburn still with a 5-man front. Long count by Valbuena. Fading to throw. Pass downfield is going to be almost intercepted. It is short. The ball seems to maybe slip out of the grasp of Valbuena just as he released the pass. It was intended for Emmon Love in front of the diving David Langner at the 30-yard line of Auburn. Second down 10, Tennessee. Second down 10, Tennessee. Power eye left. Howard stays in tight. Back to throw is Valbuena. Looking for Love. Pass in the middle. Complete to the 31-yard line. maybe just a hair short of the first, but it will be close. Law again makes the catch in front this time of Langner. Newton, the linebacker, was there helping out of the tackle. The official spots the ball. It will be less than a yard short of a first. Power eye right. Auburn stacks it up with an 8-man line. Sandback goes to the first. He did not make it. He did not make that first down. Ben Burney was there along with Newton on the tackle. And Sandback running up the middle was popped and popped good for no gain. Fourth down into Tennessee. Sandback is out. Rudder has come on to relieve him. Fourth and inches Tennessee. Trailing by a score of 10-0. 5:09 to go in the game. Pitch comes to Rudder, trying to get wide. He'll never make it. He's fighting his way. He's still failing, and he does make it, I believe, to the 30-yard line on sheer determination. I had given up at the 34-yard line for Rudder, but Rudder did not give up. And he carries the ball down to the 30-yard line, beating Luca and Simmons wide to the corner. Great run by Rudder.
Well, that was just individual effort, John. He was hit back there, and he carried a couple of men with him there for the first down. He was just determined to get it, and he's a strong runner. And he
first and 10 Tennessee at the 30-yard line. A big play by Winchester, Tennessee, Phil Rudder. Valbuena stays at quarterback. Wide right left, wide left goes Howard. Running back to Ruthers and Rudder. Valbuena back to throw. In the pocket across the middle. Long pass could be a touchdown. Give him 6. Give him 6. Howard. Touchdown Tennessee. 4:31 to go in the game. He just broke free running past that halfback. A mix-up in the zone defense, and Howard cut free at the 10. Valbuena right on target for the touchdown throw, and the Volunteers are on the scoreboard. Pass from Valbuena to Howard, and the score is now Auburn 10, Tennessee 6. The Vols may go for 2. We'll see. Townsend came out onto the field, then he leaves. The Vols may be going for 2. The score is 10-6 in favor of Auburn. And let's see who's in there. For Tennessee, the quarterback will be Holloway. He's backed by Chancey and Rudder. Tennessee going for 2, trailing by 10-6. Now the Volunteers are going to waste a timeout, or are they? Yes, Tennessee's going to get a timeout. And a 5-yard delay of game penalty may be coming up. As there was some uncertainty as Tennessee lined up, the Vols had asked for timeout. But Tennessee doesn't have any more timeouts. They've used them all, apparently. Delay of game penalty against the Vols. So let's see whether Tennessee will still try to go for 2 or whether the Volunteers will go for the extra point. Tennessee does not have any timeouts, according to my chart, remaining. So the Vols still are going to go for 2. Putting the ball in play from the 8-yard line. Holloway calls the shift. Chadwick is in there as a wide receiver right. 10-6 the score. In motion back toward you comes Chancey. Here's Holloway back to throw. Looking in the end zone. The pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Sansbury, incomplete. So Tennessee's attempt for the 2-point conversion failed. And the Vols will be kicking off. The score, Auburn 10, Tennessee 6. The time, 4:31 to go. As the Volunteers score on a pass from Valbuena to Howard. The pass was good for 30 yards. It was a 72-yard drive in 9 plays. Auburn got its touchdown on an 81-yard drive in 16 plays. The difference now, the field goal of 30 yards by Jet following a Tennessee fumble in the third quarter. Townsend looking over the situation. Auburn's got 10 men right up there. Here is the kick, and he's going to kick it long. It's coming downfield. Langner back under the ball, makes the catch, and will down it in the end zone. Auburn will have the ball at the 20-yard line after the touchback. Auburn's ball, 1st and 10 at the 20. The score, Auburn 10, Tennessee 6. The Volunteers score coming on a pass from Valbuena to Howard. Important series for Auburn. Tennessee's out of timeout. 4:28 to go in this game. Here's the give. Henley over the left side to the 21, onto the 22-yard line. He's backed up at that point by Jamie Rotella. Auburn taking its time, slowly moving back into the huddle. The score is 10-6. Right now, 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Vol Network. Auburn will have the ball. 2nd down and 8 yards to go at its own 22-yard line. Leading 10-6, 4th quarter. Handoff Henley trying to get wide. He's thrown for a loss at the 20-yard line by Carl Johnson. So it'll be third down upcoming for Auburn. Clock shows 3:45 to go on the game. Ball moves back just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be third down, a long 9 yards to go. Auburn leading 10-6. Miles Jones replaces Owens at fullback for Auburn. They lead 10-6. Third down long. They split the running back. Quarterback is Walls. Walls to Henley. On the left side, he's thrown for a loss at the 18-yard line by Simonson. Fourth down upcoming for Auburn. Beverly enters the game. The wind is still brisk in his face as he'll be punting. Brown drifts deep for Tennessee. Fourth down, the ball at the 19-yard line, a loss of a yard and a half. It'll be fourth down 11. Clock is running, and Auburn is going to use as much as they can. 2:50 to go in this game. Auburn leads Tennessee by a score of 10-6. Deep to punt Beverly. Deep for Tennessee in the vicinity of his own 40-yard line is Brown. The punt by Beverly is away. He hangs it high. Drilling it down here to Brown, who makes the cut to the 40. He's immediately tackled at that point and forced down at the 38-yard line. Downfield covering was the fleet Sandy Cannon. Punt is good for 44 yards into the wind. Auburn on defense as Tennessee has Valbuena in at quarterback at the 38-yard line. Tailback. The fullback is Chansey. Auburn sees Valbuena fade the throw across the middle. Intercepted Auburn. Take it down the 45-yard line. Down to the 40, to the 50, the 45, down to the 40, down to the 35, down to the 30, down to the Tennessee 25, on to the 20, to the 15, out of bounds. At the 14-yard line is David Langner of Auburn. As the pass from Valbuena to Love was slightly high, over his outstretched fingertips, Langner breaking on the ball, intercepted, and races downfield 43 yards to the Volunteer 14-yard line, where with 2:21 left to go in the game, the Plainsmen, who lead by a score of 10-6, have it first down and 10 to go. Valbuena's pass intercepted by Langner, and Auburn has the ball first down 10 at the 14. The Tigers come to the line of scrimmage with Walls at quarterback. The handoff comes to Henley, the tailback. Henley over left tackle. Got a yard maybe to the 13. Pulliam was there, along with Wagster on the tackle. The clock is running. Tennessee is out of timeout. 2:08, 2:07 left to go in this game. Auburn leads Tennessee 10-6. Walls brings them up in the I formation. The tailback in there now is Unger. Long count by. Walls gives to Owens. Owens fumbles the football. Scrambling after to recover. I think it's Walls who gets the ball. Walls has recovered the ball, saving it for Auburn as Owens fumbles it. But Walls, the quarterback, following the play all the way, falls on it to recover it at the 13-yard line. The score is 10-6. Walls, who is not a flashy quarterback in the mold of Pat Sullivan, is a steady, consistent quarterback who has played almost errorless ball, Bill.
He hasn't made any mistakes all day, John. Of course, the offense that they're learning is not that complicated of a thing, but he is steady and...
Third down, 10 Auburn, after the recovery of the fumble by Wall. The give is to Unger, and Unger cracking up the middle, moving the ball to the center of the field, down to the 10-yard line. It will be fourth down, and Auburn, watching the clock, sees 59 seconds to go in the game. They could just hold on to the football. Tennessee is out of timeout. Auburn leads by 4. Coming to the line of scrimmage, 30 seconds left to go, and there's the delay of game penalty against Auburn. It'll be a 5-yard step off, moving the ball from the 10 back to the 15-yard line from Valbuena to Howard. But now Auburn with 29 seconds to go. Fourth down. Walls running out wide to the right. Hemmed in, cuts inside, and is down as the clock running with 22 seconds to go. Tennessee racing onto the field. The ball is down at the 14-yard line where Tennessee will have it. 21 seconds to go in the game. The score, Auburn 10, Tennessee 6. Auburn can set up an umbrella defense. That's what they're going to do. They're already lining up 20 yards deep. Chadwick is in as a wide receiver right. Love wide left. Valbuena the quarterback. 21 seconds to go in the game. Valbuena back to throw. Looking. Waiting, long bomb for Chadwick. Downfield is intercepted by Auburn at the 50-yard line. A marker is immediately dropped. Dave Beck made the interception as Valbuena just cranked up and threw the ball as far as he could. It was intercepted by Beck, intended for Chadwick. Scheduled to arrive in Knoxville around 7 o'clock. 10-6, Auburn leads. Walls to the ball. He may just fall on it. He does. There at the 45-yard line. The clock is counting, and the fans will join in as you'll hear them in the background. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Auburn Tigers defeat the Volunteers of Tennessee by a score of 10-6. We'll be back to tell you more about it in just 60 seconds after telling you the final score. Auburn 10, Tennessee 6.